could you tell Mom to keep it down? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaitlyn Dobrow, and today I am going to be answering your guys' most frequently asked questions from my What Happened to Me video and pretty much any other video on my channel. Mostly because I get these questions a lot and I don't really feel like answering the same question over and over again. So I just figured if I do it here, then I can just direct people to this video. So let's get started. Okay, number one, what happened to me is a short version, but pretty much bacterial meningitis turned into sepsis, which caused blood clots throughout my body, which caused the skin to die and the limbs to die. So that's what happened to me. Second question, was the bacterial meningitis caused by drugs? No, it was not caused by drugs. In my What Happened to Me video, I did describe that I took a drug called Oxycontin or Codone. Me getting sick had nothing to do with the drugs at all. It was just correlated within the story of me not taking care of myself, hence my body not being able to fight off the disease. The drugs did not help me trying to get better, but it was not caused by the drugs.
But don't do drugs.
Another one of the most common questions that I get is, how did I get bacterial meningitis in the first place? Which answer to that question is I have absolutely no idea. CDC pretty much investigated where I was going, investigated my friends to see if anyone had any symptoms of bacterial meningitis or bacterial meningitis in the first place, but no one else had it. It's not really a good answer, but it's the answer I got. People think my mom conspired to kill me. How do I turn on the camera? So before I had Kaitlyn working for me, I used to turn my camera on with my nose or my chin or my teeth, and I just press the button with my tooth or my chin or whatever happened to be working at that moment in time. Also, how do I record videos? Same thing, press the record button with my teeth. How do I brush my teeth and how do I eat? How do I go to the bathroom, get dressed? All of those common questions is usually Catherine does it for me. She brushes my teeth, she shaves my head, she showers me, she helps me go to the bathroom, like pulling down my pants. We have a bidet as well, so I just pretty much wipe myself with a bidet. Yeah. So most of the questions that you guys have when it relates to my everyday life, minus eating, actually. I do eat by myself. Catherine makes my food, but then I shove my face into it.
Literally.
Or I stick my tongue out, kind of like a lizard, if it's like popcorn or chips, yeah, or just pretty much anything that would stick to my tongue, and it just sticks to my tongue and then I get it in my mouth. So
why do you always make that face? It looks so painful.
Oh, thank God I saw this comment. Another extremely asked question is if I am single, if I am dating, if I am seeing anyone. I am single. I am going on a date. My first date ever since I got sick. So there's that. Can I drive? Not right now. I didn't have my license before I got sick, but I drove anyways. But no, I cannot drive right now. Will I be able to one day if I'm not too scared? I just feel like I'm just gonna crash into someone immediately, because even when I had arms and legs, I drove up on a curb and did donuts on accident. So
that'd be a cool vlog.
will I live independently one day on my own, in my own house or apartment, what have you? I don't really see myself ever really truly living on my own 24/7, because I still need someone to shower me and take my legs off and put the arms on. I might be able to take my legs off because, I mean, I've done that once before, but it was hard. Does that suck? It sucks because I'm so independent, but I also know that it's like I could change it. I could change a lot of things to make myself more independent. I'm just a fairly lazy person. Can I swim? At the moment, no. Will I learn? Catherine will make me. I mean, I used to be able to swim. I was like a fish when I was younger, like constantly swimming, constantly in the pool. I never really liked the beach, don't like the sand. I probably still can swim. I'm just scared that I might sink like a rock. Yeah, so there's that. Am I free of bacterial meningitis? The bacterial meningitis got out of my system. I was healed from it within a couple weeks of being in the hospital. But the fact that it went into my bloodstream and caused sepsis was why I was in the hospital for so long. So I've been free of bacterial meningitis for a while, 4 years. So, I mean, it's not like once you get bacterial meningitis, it's something that you have forever. It's a bacteria and you get sick from it and then it goes away. Mom! Mom! Also, a question that I get in many different forms, how do I cope with people staring at me? I don't mind when people, like, you can tell that they're like, oh, I want to look, but I shouldn't look. You know, I don't mind when people are like that. It's normal human instinct to like, look at someone who doesn't look like the average person. And I get that, and that's okay. But I had to learn that. I used to get really mad, and I just had to learn. It's like, you can say something and you can get mad and it can upset you, or you can just kind of say, well, that was rude, and move on with your life. And it's like, obviously, I wasn't just like switch of a person, like, oh, I have the answer to just not care about that. It was something that I had to work through. It wasn't just a flip of the switch and I was a totally new person. It's something that I've had to work on. You kind of just have to figure out why you feel so upset that this person is looking at you in a certain way, and you find out that it has nothing to do with the other person. It's actually insecurities within myself, which I know. It's something that I put my personal effort into, not to waste my emotions and energy with something that isn't going to have a positive effect on my life. So really, it's all about me. Do I get annoyed with people asking questions about my situation if I'm just at the store or something? That was something that I never really had to get over. You want to talk to me about me, that's fine. I always like to be in the limelight. I grew up dancing, I grew up being on stage. I like talking to people. I like to hear their opinions on what they think happened to me. So that's not something that I had to really work through. Another question that I have gotten a lot is, have I had anxiety, depression, things like that? I've had both. I still have anxiety. In the hospital, if you guys did not watch what happened to me, I told some horror stories that had to do with throwing up for a month straight, not being able to breathe a couple times, waking up a little bit too early after surgery. I mean, the surgery was done, but I was on a paralytic. I couldn't breathe. My eyes were taped shut. I couldn't move. I had a panic attack and passed out. So I have anxiety from stuff like that. A lot of the times I feel like just sick, like I'm just gonna vomit at any moment, even though I know it's not true. So does Catherine.
I know, what the heck?
I am still working through the anxiety. The depression has gone away. I mean, like, I was such in a bad state, which was weird, not because of what happened to me, because I had no arms and legs. It was more of a family thing. I went through a stage in my life where not only did I want to die, I just didn't even want to exist. It's like, I just wish Jesus never even created me. I wish he never even thought of me. I wish I never even was brought up in his mind. I wish I just didn't exist. I just wanted to be in black nothingness where I could not think about anything and not worry about anything and not feel so horrible. You wonder, like, what's the point of, like, even existing if this is life? I lived with depression for years, and then I started taking an antidepressant / anti-anxiety, and the feeling of not wanting to exist is gone. What motivates me to keep on going in life? I don't know. What motivated me to stay alive when I was in that horrible situation was the fact that I couldn't take my own life. I couldn't do that. I didn't want to be that person to myself. I want to become a person that I'm proud of and someone that I respect. Someone that I can look back on and be like proud of and be like, yeah, that's me. And that didn't make me feel good about myself if I would have done that. So I wanted to feel better about myself, so I didn't do it. I wanted to feel stronger. Kind of just roll with whatever comes my way, and handle it in the way that would make me proud of myself. So that's what kept me motivated in that situation. Everyday life, what keeps you motivated going, it's not really a struggle anymore.
Seeing my beautiful face every morning.
How do I stay so positive? How am I strong? I can't, it's hard to answer that question. In life, you only get what you can handle, and for some reason I can handle this. I don't know. Maybe I was just born with the super strong not mental or emotional, somehow strong trait. It's weird because even though I am in my situation, I think if I wasn't in my situation, I would not survive it. Even though I am in my situation, but I'm surviving it. So, I mean, it's just kind of like a thing that you, like when it comes to strength, you kind of have to be in the situation to know if you can handle it or not. It's a lot of choosing, a lot of mental stuff, a lot of mental strength that you kind of have to go through. It's something that you learn over time. I can't really tell you how to be strong or how to be happy. It's something that when you're in a situation, you choose to be strong or you choose to not deal with it. You choose to be happy or you choose to be sad. What were you gonna say?
Do you think that YouTube has helped you to not be depressed, like having a lot of people interested in your life? Do you think that helps you?
I think the fact that people are like, you're so pretty and I love you. I'm like, I love you too. I think that helps. Does YouTube help me with anxiety and depression? It helps me to escape from what I'm thinking at that moment. If I have more family problems, if there's something that I just don't want to deal with at that moment, I can just put my legs on and start editing and go off into a different world and not think about it. So YouTube has helped me in that way. This is an interesting question. It's not a very common question, I don't think, but it is an interesting question. What was the hardest part of you accepting yourself as who you are right now? The physical part wasn't hard for me to accept. It was the more mental part. I went through this whole thing where I did not trust myself, my emotions. I know a little bit more of who I am, but back then I had no idea. So I didn't know who I was. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my thoughts. I thought everything that I thought was wrong. So that was the hardest part of accepting what had happened to me, is that I'm not a horrible person and I'm not as bad as I think I am, and I can be a good person and I can be nice and accept who I am without thinking it's a bad thing. I guess I wasn't proud of myself before, so I was proud of the way I looked. I thought I was fine, but I never really got deep into who I was, just because I'm still young, but I was really young then. So when I got sick, it was more of a hard thing for me to deal with the mental stuff than it was the physical stuff. If I could go back, would I change it? Would I tell my 16-year-old self, my 14-year-old self? Would I warn myself? Even though it sounds mean, I don't think I would warn myself. My poor 16-year-old self. I would not give up anything to know what I know today. What I've learned from getting sick and losing my arms and legs and going through all that stuff, and then the mental stuff, I would not give that up for the world. I'm a happier person than I was before because of the things that I know now. Because I understand myself more, and I like myself more, and I know, for me, I would rather go through all that stuff than know as little as I did before I got sick. So, do I miss my old self? There are times that I'm like, I wish I just had my arms and legs. Not out of sadness, out of exhaustion, and probably not exhaustion, I'm very dramatic. Out of tiredness. I have missed the very carefree living, not scared, no fear in life, thinking nothing is gonna happen to me, nothing wrong. I do miss that. I do miss that feeling of freedom in a way, of feeling invisible, and then when you find out that you're not invisible, that's the terrifying part. And yeah, I think that's about it. If your question was not answered in here, it was probably answered in the other Q&A. I hope I answered your guys' questions well enough. I hope I just didn't ramble on, which I tend to do a lot. I will try to get more things out that appeals to the everyday person, not just the person who likes makeup. But I will not stop doing makeup tutorials because I like makeup. Yeah, I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! Everything good? Everything ready?
Yes. Should I just be quiet and not say anything?
No, you can do whatever you want. I have no idea. I have no idea. All the noise. Learn that I'm loved for who I am. I would not want to give that up for the world. That makes me happy.